Shatterpoint, and it was mastered by Mace Windu. Did you ever wonder how Mace was the only Jedi in history to defeat Darth Sidious? Something even Yoda couldn't do? Now, I believed Palpatine threw the fight so that, he could set it up for Anakin's arrival. However, after George Lucas literally stated in the commentary of Episode 3 that Mace fully beat him fair and square, I became a believer that Mace has extreme powers. He was, after all, trained by Master Yoda as well. So what is Shatterpoint? Now, in the Legends novel Shatterpoint by Matthew Stover, we're given the most perfect explanation of what the power is through Mace Windu's explanation himself. Here we go. I can see Shatterpoints. The sense is not sight, but see is the closest word Basic has for it. It is a perception, a feel of how what I look upon fits into the Force, and how the Force binds it to itself and to everything else. I was 6 or 7 standard years old, well into my training in the Jedi Temple, before I realized that other students, full-grown Jedi Knights, even wise masters, could sense such connections only with difficulty, and only with concentration and practice. The Force shows me strengths and weaknesses, hidden flaws and unexpected uses. It shows me vectors of stress that squeeze or stretch, torque or shear. It shows me how patterns of these vectors intersect to form the matrix of reality. Put simply, when I look at you through the Force, I can see where you break. I looked at Jango Fett on the sand in the Genosian arena. A perfect combination of weapons, skills, and the will to use them. An interlocking crystal of killer. The Force hinted a Shatterpoint, and I left a headless corpse on the sand. The deadliest man in the galaxy. Now, just dead. Situations have Shatterpoints, like gems, but those of situations are fluid, ephemeral, appearing for a bare instant, vanishing again to leave no trace of their existence. They are always a function of timing. There is no such thing as a second chance. When I next encounter Dooku, he will be the war's Shatterpoint no longer. I can't stop this war with a single death, but on that day in the Genosian arena, I could have. This explanation was the best one that I could find, as it comes from Master Windu himself about his own technique. Now, why is this the most powerful? Well, not in the traditional sense where someone could, force push or crush an object, for example, but because this ability allowed Mace Windu to be the only person in the galaxy to defeat Darth Sidious, something even Yoda couldn't do himself, nor Vader. So how this power worked, essentially, was basically like looking at the world and everyone in it as if they were made of Jenga. Yeah, pretty much. That's the best way I can explain it. Mace would be able to see which point was the most vulnerable to bring the person down, and he'd strike there. Sometimes that window was only available in a quick passing moment, like when he fought Palpatine, but nevertheless, it was there, and that's how he was the most powerful.